Hello and welcome to another update video about ADA. So we're currently tracking this ADA micro structure. It is not a reliable trade setup here whatsoever. It's moving in absolute complex corrective structures here at the moment. So I'm purely tracking this for educational purposes, but also to let you know basically where we are roughly in the roadmap. I don't see this as a reliable trade setup, even though the wave count shows to the upside. Here I would not be surprised at all if it's going to make a lower low. Okay, just have to highlight that. Why I explained that in previous videos. ADA is just moving in a large triangle that started in December last year, and it's just moving sideways. It's trolling support down here. Basically, to complete this triangle, what would be needed is a lower high in a so-called E-wave correction. In this E-wave would likely be a corrective structure, but we are far away from that. Okay, so we don't even see any clear setup that would allow for this to start. I mean, anything is possible. I show you one on the lower time frame, but bear in mind that the orange support areas are basically areas where I say I would not be surprised if it breaks. We should never be surprised if support areas break, by the way, anyway, because that's just what they do. Yeah, it's just what trend lines do as well. They break at some point. But here it's just like low confidence, okay? So if I zoom, and that basically has to do with the situation that the ADA chart or price is just moving in this sideways correction, and it doesn't really have the backing of a larger degree uptrend that would support this rally to the upside. It would simply be basically just a correction, and correction, basically like a reaction to the previous move to the downside that started here on the 14th of July and so far seems to have ended on the 17th of August. So if we zoom in, we can say to complete this triangle, an E-wave, a lower high in a corrective structure would be needed, but it doesn't need to do it, okay? It could just go down straight away. By the way, if this triangle is complete, afterwards we expect another bear market low. Now, of course, alternatively, it could do that bear market low directly. The price doesn't need that lower high. It's just, okay, can I still count it as a triangle or not? But the point is here, if we break below the support level at 24.7 cents, that's basically a first warning that the triangle might not play out. Now, the white wave count shows you a possible pathway how this E wave could play out. And I'm counting it as a WXY structure. And in this Y wave, well, we basically have an ABC, A, B, C, so three-wave move. And we're watching if price is starting already the A wave. Now, if I zoom in on the 1 hour chart now. So again, wave W completed here on the 29th of August. The X wave potentially completed on the 31st of August. And we're now exploring if we are really moving up already in the Y wave. But as you can see, the price doesn't really seem to be very motivated at this stage to do it. Yeah, I showed you yesterday an idea. Okay, look, it could be that we are already in this A wave and that in the A wave we've done a wave 1. This is a pullback in a wave 2. It basically worked out. Yeah, I think I showed you that yesterday in the last video, this wave count, where we said, okay, the wave 1, then a W, X, and the Y wave to the downside with an A, B, C. So I think that sort of, you could say, worked out, even though it's sort of just, yeah, it's just a corrective structure, right? So it doesn't go anywhere really. Now, and it could be that this wave 2 indeed was complete here, and we could rally now in a third wave, but again, it's not very motivating price action. Again, I would not be surprised at all if this breaks down. Other interpretations, so let's take this out. How else could this be playing out? This here was a wave X. Yeah, we're moving up in an. I mean, it could be that this. What do I have here? That this X wave is still unfolding. You know, that's a possibility as well. X. And we come down once more in Y. Yeah, and that would basically mean that maybe this X wave, which bottomed on 31st of August, isn't even finished, right? And then you get something like this. WXY in the larger X wave. Which I'll highlight now in maybe in a different color. So you can actually see it. It's not really a different color. yeah, let's pick orange. So WX here, WXY, that basically the X wave isn't even finished. And then we have within the X wave a W, smaller X wave is still unfolding, and a Y wave to the downside still to come. See, there is limited, really limited use in trying to decipher here the micro counts, but still it's still worth tracking. So I think I might actually go with this. And within the X wave then, I mean, what is the pattern here? Well, within the X wave, I think we're probably dealing then again with a smaller corrective structure. WXY. And then within the Y wave, yep, A wave, B wave, C wave. See, there's really, I mean, I've shown you now a possible count, and actually this one is, in my opinion, a fairly likely one. Well, shouldn't say likely. It is one that makes sense because it's absolutely choppy price action, but it will most likely change and morph. And it's a very, very messy corrective structure. So what I want to highlight here, and I know it is frustrating price action. What I want to highlight here is corrective structures, they morph a lot, they change a lot. But the key is to understand what is the relevant support. And the relevant support for this larger orange X wave is at 24.7 cents. A break below that level would make me consider that we are maybe not in a triangle anymore, and that we're going to break down most likely in a direct fashion. But as long as the 24.7 cent level is holding, potentially here this E wave in the triangle could unfold. But again, it's low probability work, this one is, because tracking corrective structures, what is it useful for? It's useful to understand what are the relevant pivot points, right? And 24.7 cent is one. And as you can see, it's not really doing much. It's just moving in an ascending wedge. So from here, it could certainly give us a higher C wave. But is it high probability? Not really, yeah. But I know there are a lot of you want to see the micro counts for ADA. So we always give our best to show them. But yeah, I always say when it's low probability as well. Okay, markets are not always clear. And here on this time frame, this is certainly not clear. But the bigger picture, yeah, the triangle gives us quite a good view of where we are actually on the ADA chart. So maybe we have a little bit more clarity tomorrow. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.